swoop just came in, the big airplane.
Oh, look at that.
Or is it taking off? Oh no, it looks like it's taking off. Doggone it, I'm not going to be able to catch it. He is getting ground speed up. And any minute it'll be rotate. There goes the nose. The nose is up in the air. And if you can see it, I don't know if you can, against the mountain, the swoop is taking off from the airport in Abbotsford. And we are going to be heading down Zero Avenue. Zero Avenue between Canada and the United States. Of course, we're on the Canadian side. And we'll take a little run down the border between Canada and the US, which has been closed since March, I think, due to this COVID. And often you'll see families gathered along the border visiting each other since the borders have been closed. Now we can't even see Swoop airline. It must have shot into the clouds right away. So on Town Line Road, we take this short little drive, and we are looking way down there at Zero Avenue between Canada and the US of A. Most of the farms on the Canadian side and the US side, most of the farmland, they are producing blueberries, and what other kind of berry do they produce along here?
Raspberries.
Raspberries and blueberries. Those are the two big crops along this stretch of Zero Avenue. And since, I guess, about 9/11, the US has been increasing the border patrol and the security along the US side. It's only been the last 7 or 8 months that we've seen Canadian law enforcement. So there, that is the US on the left side and Canada on the right. And this is Zero Avenue. Zero Avenue runs almost from the Pacific Ocean near White Rock and Blaine, the big US border crossing, or Douglas, they call it. And Zero Avenue runs along, I'm going to guess 10-15 miles to out this way, out east toward Abbotsford. A lot of motorcycle riders love this stretch because it's a pretty straight stretch between the two countries, and we see a lot of cyclists as well. Solo riders and groups of 3, 4, 5, or 6, or even greater cyclists love this stretch. There's not very much traffic on Zero Avenue, but today we're going to enjoy just a little drive down Zero Avenue and see if we can see any border patrol or any activity going on, or any families, Canadian families getting together with American families with just the little stretch of the border in between. There's long stretches where there's no fencing, no security. Although there is security, sometimes it's overhead security. We see a plane flying by. But there are lots of cameras on the US side facing both directions, facing west and east on Zero Avenue. There's way more security on the American side than there is on the Canadian side of this stretch of Zero Avenue. approaching a vehicle up here on the left-hand side, obviously a Canadian, and we may see them, or they're sitting waiting for an American friend to join them. Oh no, there's two vehicles sitting there. I don't know, we just can see she's got her arm on the rail and he's got his arm on the rail, and it looks like they're having a wee visit. I think the overcast skies with the threat of rain is keeping a lot of people away from visiting each other, both Americans and Canadians. As generally along this strip there will be 3 or 4 vehicles on the Canadian side and same on the American side. And I think this is the first U.S. Border Patrol vehicle we've seen. Yes, it is. Homeland Security. I always look at them to see if they're looking at us, checking out them as they're checking out us. So here we have another little visit going on. You got to look real close on the left-hand side, and she is standing in black, and there's a little visit. They bring their lawn chairs, their snacks. We've even seen birthday parties along this stretch of Zero Avenue. Earlier I mentioned cyclists. Well, here come 3, 4. Oh, right through the stop sign. I guess nobody's coming.
This feeling moves me every single day. I'm captured by your charm, enchanted by your ways.
Zero Avenue.
In the magic of your eyes.
I don't know what the Americans call it. Do you? On their side?
Well, they got bits and pieces. Farmland, buddy, not forget Zero Avenue.
So is this Canadian law enforcement here? Nope, just a farmer closing the gate with the dog in the passenger seat. So here we see a little larger group. Until this COVID-19 eases up on the border between Canada and the U.S., that's one way of families and friends getting together. Look, they're all wrapped up, having a wee visit. Approaching the location where several years ago a fellow, a homeowner on the Canadian side, dug a tunnel across this road here, and it connected with a home, which is long gone now, on the American side, and it was used to transport drugs and who knows what else back and forth without border guards knowing what they were doing. So he thought. However, border officials, and there's the border right there ahead of us, border officials were watching this guy dig this tunnel for about 1.5 years, and then watched him transport a few things back and forth and then nabbed him. So there's the American, this is the Canadian border, and it's pretty well shut down other than the truck traffic. So there was our little drive this morning on a Sunday morning of Zero Avenue. Hope you enjoyed it. We had to take a little detour because the border stops or prevents you from staying on Zero Avenue, and you've got to take this little jaunt around the border and then make our way back to Zero Avenue. Zero Avenue between Canada and the United States of America. And just up ahead on the right hand side, they grow marijuana there, or they used to. Hopefully it's a bad camera. But it's shut down now. What's happened to Canada's marijuana investors? I don't think they're doing so well. Some probably are, I guess. I'm not up on it. Anyhow, Zero Avenue, we're back again. We're looking right at the United States of America in front of us there. The fellow in the black Mustang is probably not sure what's going on. And he's backing up. So here we are heading west again on Zero Avenue between Canada and the United States. And you can see no fence, just a small little ditch. And that's about it. But heavily secured with cameras, flights. The U.S. have aircraft that fly back and forth, and they keep an eye on who's coming and going, who's trying to sneak across the border. It's mostly people from the United States trying to come into Canada. We don't hear many Canadians trying to cross the border into the U.S. I guess with what's happening around the world with refugees and homeless people and countries that are having challenges, they want to escape all of the turmoil there and come through the United States and make their way north to Canada. And we just passed another border, or a Homeland Security truck. He was hiding behind the small ditch, and just as I went by him, I just caught the white vehicle. And then the rest of Zero Avenue, if we stayed on Zero Avenue to the west, it would take us right to the Pacific border crossing where Zero Avenue ends, and which is almost by White Rock and Highway 99. But there you have our little drive this morning down Zero Avenue, and our home is about 15 minutes away from Zero Avenue. So sometimes we like taking this stretch because it's quiet, and every once in a while you may catch some activity going on, but we haven't seen any. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip on Zero Avenue between Canada and the US of A.